Welcome to the CAEN spectroscopy video tutorials. In this video, we will learn to use the MCA Signal Inspector. First step, connect hexagon to the detector and the Quantus software to the MCA as explained in the video tutorial Quantus Spectrum Acquisition. Second step, open the Quantus Signal Inspector window. It works like an oscilloscope and allows you to see the detector signal as well as the digital filter outputs. You can set the record length and the trigger position. You can also set the energy scheme to see only one portion of the spectrum. This is a very powerful tool for debug. You can stop the waveform display and take one single shot at a time. There is also the possibility to use two cursors for different probes. Moreover, you can move the DC offset of the input signal to optimize the dynamic range. A warning message will appear in case of undersaturation or oversaturation. On the right side, there are all the possible trigger sources, which are fully explained in the manual. They can work one at a time or together. Particularly useful during the debug phase is the auto trigger source, which allows you to trigger the signal even when no other trigger occurs. In the analog traces section, you can set the detector signal and the digital filter outputs. You can select up to two probes at the same time: the input signal, the slow and the fast discriminator, and the trapezoid signal on probe 1. No trace, the input signal, the threshold, the trapezoid without baseline, also called trapezoid corrected, and the baseline on probe 2. In the digital traces section, you have the trigger signal generated by the trigger source or the trigger accepted signal, which represents an event written on the board memory. In the digital trace 2, you have several traces described in detail in the manual. For example, you can select as analog traces the input signal and the trapezoid corrected signal. As digital traces, you can select the trigger signal and the peaking signal to see exactly when an event occurs and where its energy is evaluated. In the monitor out section, it is possible to select the signal to see on the oscilloscope connected to the monitor out connector. Finally, when the acquisition is stopped, it is possible to save the displayed waveform by selecting the Enable Waveform Dump. The output format is fully described in the manual.